and just click Login to begin. Okay, once I'm logged into the system here, this is the grants portal. You will see all available grants are listed here under this megaphone. You can update your profile, your organization details. We have frequently asked questions that, as again, this is a new system, these will be populated more soon. To begin, just click the megaphone here. Okay, so the new closing date for the scheme is 17th of the 6th, 2026 at 5 p.m. So I can see here that the registered vessel fuel scheme is available on the system. I'm going to hit the apply button to begin, and then I'm brought into the pre-application checklist. So the pre-application checklist just tells you kind of everything that you will need in order to be eligible for this scheme. Okay. So in order to be eligible for the scheme, the applicant must be an owner of either a fishing vessel or the applicant must be an owner of an aquaculture vessel. The fishing vessel must have been actively fishing so that will be checked by the Sea Fisheries Protection Authority. Okay, you can read the full details about that as well, and also that you must have an active license registered on the Irish Register of Fishing Boats, and that will be checked by the licensing authority. Um, in the interest of keeping this video short, I will let you read all of this here yourself of how that is going to be checked. For vessels that are for an aquaculture vessel, they must also be on the register of fishing boats. Okay. Levels of grant aid, then owner of fishing vessels that are less than 6 meters, you will get a €350 flat rate per vessel that qualifies. And owners of vessels that are 6 meters or higher, so that's starting at 6 meters or higher, this would be up to a maximum of 40 cents per litre. This is subject to change, so this is the maximum that it could get is 40 cents per litre of fuel, and we would check that by fuel receipts that are submitted. Also then scrolling down a little bit here, documentation that will be required as part of this. So if we click this link here, what's called the claim documentation guidelines. Okay, so it just says what's funded. We've covered that part just there now. So if your vessel is size of less than 6 meters, you do not need to supply any fuel receipts, and you do not need to supply any proof of purchase. It's just a straight up grant fee of €350 per vessel. So no documentation required for fuel receipts or fuel transactions. Any vessels that are 6 meters or higher, you must supply a copy of the fuel receipts showing proof of purchase of these of the fuel, and also then proof of payment to show the payment of the fuel. Okay, so the dates then that qualify for this is the 1st of March 2025 to the 31st of July 2025, or the 1st of March 2024 to the 31st of July 2024, but not a combination of both. So in the application form, it'll ask you to pick which year you are submitting receipts for. So it's either 2025 or 2024. Okay, so just pick one year and stick with that. The receipts can be from any supplier. It doesn't matter if it's in the Republic of Ireland or not. And they just must be a VAT registered supplier or equivalent. Okay, what we want is that the receipt shows the supplier name, the supplier tax or VAT number or equivalent, type of fuel, so it's either petrol, marine gas, oil, etc. The volumes of fuel in liters, and then the cost per liter. Okay, so that's what we want, receipts that will show this, and they must be dated from the 1st of March to the 31st of July, either 2025 or 2024, but not a combination of both. Okay, so just pick a year and go with your receipts from there. For a proof of purchase, proof of purchase must be any proof of purchase. It doesn't matter of the year, everything just has to be paid by the 31st of the 12th, 2025. Okay. And mostly with proof of purchase, we're looking for a bank statement in the name of the applicant or the applicant's organization, which clearly shows the transactions being paid for. Okay. Payments in cash, bank draft, postal orders, etc., are not eligible. Okay, so we'll go through that a bit further in the application form. So going back to the application form then as well, other documents you may require would be a bank statement dated within the last 6 months in the company's or the applicant's name. And also you would, if your vessel that you are registering is owned in joint ownership, you would need permission, signed permission from the other owner. So that's what we call the joint vessel ownership form. So all other owners just must fill in this form here and sign it to give you permission to apply on their behalf. Okay, and you can get links to all these forms throughout the application form as well, so you don't need to save everything from here. We would also draw your attention to the terms and conditions and statements of principles, so please do read through that before beginning. And then once you're happy, just click yes to say you understand and click continue to your application. Okay, so the application form then will start from here. You will be given a reference number at the very top. Okay, so this is unique to your application form. And please do quote this reference number if you need to contact the Grants Help Desk by email here or by phone. Okay, all the application form starts from top to bottom and it's all on the one page. Okay, so just scrolling down, you can start from, you'll start your application, but it'll all be on the one page. Okay, um, here it's asking me for a project title. So that would be, let's say, I'm just going to put in my company name, Conway Fishing Fuel Grant. So if I hit save on this, I can log out of the system at any stage. I can come back. If I log out and come back, please don't hit here again because that will just start a blank application form again. So scrolling down, you will see anything that you have started is listed here in the draft section, and you'll see there's the title that I gave it there as well. Okay, so it's one application form per person, but so please don't hit here again because it'll end up starting a new application. So you just save as you go and then come out and you'll pick up your application form from here. Okay, so I'm just going to click on that there again, and then I can go down and you'll see it saved what I was doing before. Next section here is my vessel details. So just ask me here to complete the vessel table. So just click the button there, and then it's going to ask me for my vessel name, the CFR, vessel owner name, vessel owner address, segment, number of crew, vessel length, and then fuel type. Okay, and I'll just save that. And then I can just keep going. So keep adding as many vessels as you own. And then once you're happy, just hit the X there and save as you hit the save button, hitting the save button as you go. And you see my vessels are all listed here. So I have two different type of vessels. I've got a 5.6 vessel and 15.9 vessel here as well. If my vessel was new or sold, if I sold a vessel last year, then I must just give the details of what my vessel is. So if this vessel was recently purchased this year, just give details there as well. Or if I owned a vessel last year and I sold it, you can put in your CFR of the vessel you had from last year, as we may need to use that CFR in order to confirm fishing activity. Because if this vessel was only purchased in 2026, but you had a different vessel last year, we would go by the fishing activity for that vessel. So please do list it here. I'm going to say no to that. It says here, are you the sole owner of all vessels listed above? If I say yes, that's fine, I can continue, but this one here, I'm not. There's two of us that own that vessel, and it's me that's submitting. So I'm going to say no, I'm not the only owner for all vessels. And on that here, then I'll be asked to fill in, I must get Ishmael to fill in this form here and sign it, which gives me permission to submit the application on his behalf. So once that's done, I can browse and then attach the completed and signed form to this application. Scrolling down here, this is just my acknowledgement that all vessels listed here, all the vessel details that are listed on this application will be passed to the licensing authority and also the SFPA to confirm fishing and license activity as well. Okay, and then moving on to the next section. Okay, the next section here is value for money. So what it says here, it's just going to say there is a flat rate of €350 for any vessels less than 6 meters. And then for vessels 6 meters or greater, you must upload payment or fuel receipts, and you may get up to 40 cent per liter of fuel attached to this application. You can see then link here will bring you to this document here, which shows you the claim guidelines that we looked at earlier. So going down, it asks me, are there any vessels greater than 6 meters LOA on this application? If there wasn't, I would just click no, and then I could continue on to my declarations. So please do read through all your declarations here. This is just making sure that you understand everything on the application form and that there's no fraud and everything is true and accurate to the best of your knowledge. So I'm not going to read everything there. I'll let you read through that yourselves. If my vessel was less than 6 meters, I would just click no to that and I would click save. And I think that's basically my application form done. Okay, except for I'd have to upload a bank statement, which I'll go through in a few minutes. As far as if I have a 6-meter vessel, I will click no to that. I will click submit here. And it just tells me the last part here is I must upload a bank statement and I must upload my tax clearance as well. That's in a different section, which is just here. Okay, so that's my full application form. And in this section here, it says that I must upload a bank statement dated within the last 6 months. And I only need the header of the bank statement. I don't need any other transactions. So if you click there, it shows you exactly what you need. So I just need showing the company name. It shows here, this is a bad example because it says forward there, but it must have a date on it. And it shows my bank account as well. So I have a sample bank account here. Okay, this is quite basic, but what it does show is that this is the name of the bank here. It's in my company name. The date on it there is the 1st of the 5th, 2026. So it is dated within the last 6 months. And also I can see my IBAN and my BIC are there as well. Okay. So that's what we're looking for here. We don't care about the transactions for this part. We just want that part there, but you can blank out everything you want, or you could just literally cut this part here and just show that part there. Okay, so it's just showing my company name, the bank name, the IBAN, the BIC, and that it's dated within the last 6 months. Once I'm happy with that, I can just browse and I'm going to attach my bank there. Other question here is tax information. It says, including this claim, will the amount of grant aid received from you by BIM or any other source in the last 12 months total to €10,000 or higher? So if that's a yes, I must click yes there. And then I must complete this table here, which shows showing my tax details. So my name, let's say that would be my company name, which is, let's say, is Conway Fishing Limited. My tax number, maybe it's, and then my TCAN. Okay, and I fill that in and then just hit save. Once that's saved, I just click the X here, and then my tax details are completed there, and I can hit the save button here. If there was a no, if I haven't received 10,000 during grant aid, including this form in the last 12 months, I would just click no to that. And I must tick this box here to say that I confirm, and I confirm that I am in compliance with the Department of Finance. So I can click here, agree to that, hit save, and I can hit submit. It says, are you sure you want to submit? And if I was only 6 meters or under, I would click yes there, and that would be the end of my form, and my form would be fully completed. Okay, so for 6 meters or for under 6 meters, sorry, I would be finished at this stage. I just put in my project title, whatever I would like to call the project myself, and then I would fill in the details of my vessel. If my vessel was in joint ownership, I would upload the joint ownership form. Agree that my vessel details will be shared with the licensing authority and also the SFPA for eligibility checking. And then I would agree to all my declarations, add my bank details, add my tax details, and hit submit, and my form is done. And that's the end. For anybody who has this, for my form here, I actually do have a vessel that is greater than 6 meters or 6 meters or greater. So I would have to click yes to this question. Okay, so if I click yes to that question, you'll see these questions here appear. it asks me about claim year. Okay, so with claim year, I say, please select the claim year for your vessel. So this again is what we were going back to earlier. I must upload receipts that are either from 2024 or 2025, but not a mixture of both. And that was here in my claim document guidelines. Okay, so from the 1st of March 2025 to the 31st of July 2025, or from the 1st of March 2024 to the 31st of March of July 2024. So going back here, if I select 2024, it's going to ask me to upload my invoices or receipts from 2024 only. If I select 2025, it's going to say that. So just pick a year of what receipts you're going to go with and add them from there. Okay, so I have some sample receipts. And again, this is only for vessels of 6 meters or greater. If your vessel was 5.99 meters or less, you are finished your form already. You don't need to watch the rest of the video. So this is just for anybody who's 6 or higher. Okay, so I have sample fuel receipts here. I've got one from a place called NI Suppliers in Derry, okay, and that is in sterling. And you can see I actually on this invoice here, I bought marine gas oil of it was €1.85. I bought 100 liters, and I also bought other equipment here as well from this store. Okay, so that's okay, as your invoice may show other transactions on it as well. So all we're interested in here is this transaction here. Okay, so this one here has marine gas oil for €1.85, 100 liters, and it's dated on the 1st of the 5th, 2025. Okay, so I'm going to attach that, and I'm going to say 2025 only is what I'm looking for here. So that one there, I can attach that. The other one I have here as an example is from a place called Harligan's Marine Shop. And you can see there that was on the 11th of the 4th, 2025 as well. So that's still within my date. So our dates that we have that are applicable to this scheme are March to July. So January, February, March. March is the 3rd and July is then the 7th. So I'm within January, February, March, April. This one is for April. So so I'm still covered here as well. So on that, I can see there, you can see I have a lot of different transactions. And this is allowed as well. You may have things like this where you have, a statement and it shows a lot of different transactions for oil on different dates. That's okay if it's all from the same shop and they can show your purchases. Okay. So on these things, you can see here, this is all for March. So on the 1st of March, I got marine gas oil. Its unit cost there was 1.853. I got 100 liters. That was the amount there. And then again on the 10th of March, it was 185. And then on the 26th of March, it was 175. Okay. And each time, so that's fine. You can upload receipts like this that have, once they're billed out to you and we can clearly see the different transactions, that's okay. And once they're within the date range as well is fine. So I'm going to just add that one as well. Okay, so here I've added 2 invoices with different transactions on them. It asks me here estimated number of liters. So how many liters overall am I submitting as part of this form? So what I would do here is I go, okay, I've got 100 plus 100 plus 100, that's 300 liters on this, okay? And then I also have another transaction here of another 100 liters. So all in all, I'm doing 400 liters here. So I just type in there 400, okay? Um, and again, this is estimated. So try and just add up all your liters from everything you do. We do know sometimes the liters are on the forms can sometimes be they can be in decimal places as well. You could have up to 3 decimal places here. This will just round it up, okay? So that's why we say estimated. So please just count all the number of liters that you are going to submit as part of this form and just put the number in there. So my next section then is the proof of payment. So for proof of payment, it said that all proof of payments must be paid by the 31st of December 2025. So it doesn't matter if I was doing 2024 invoices or 2025 invoices. It's just everything must be paid by the end of December 2025. Proof of payment is usually a bank statement in the name of the applicant, clearly showing a transaction going through, which will match to the invoice or the receipt. And again, there's a link here which will bring us into to this document, which goes into more detail about the proof of payments as well. Okay. For my applications here, I have a bank statement. My bank statement here shows that I paid Halligan's on the 11th of the 4th, 2026, €546.10. And on the 10th of the 4th, I paid NI Safety €837.92. So if you look at this bank statement here, you can see that I've highlighted the transaction. So please highlight the transaction so that it's easier for us to find. We don't care about the rest of them. You can blank them all out if you want, but it's just as long as these are highlighted, this would make it easier for us to match as we go. So on this one here, Halligan's and NI Safety, I'm going to attach my proof of purchase, or my proof of payment in the form of that bank statement. And also just to show these don't fully match up. So if I look at my NI Safety here, my NI Safety is actually in sterling and it was €715. But at the day of conversion, when it was converted on that date, the conversion rate here, that's it converted into euros. Okay, so it's 837.92. Also, I think this is €546.10. And let's say that was Halligan's. So that matches there as well, but that's not my exact fuel. Oh yeah, that does match. Sorry, that's my fuel. But on the NI Safety, you'll see I've paid for fuel, but I've also bought other stuff as well, which is fine. So what we'd usually do is that if everything isn't matching up exactly, there's this table underneath here. It says that if everything is either under or over payment, please do write a comment here to highlight that as well. So what I would say here is I'm going to write in here to say the Halligan's invoice. So the receipt file name is Halligan's. The proof of payment was the bank. And the reason for difference is other equipment purchased as part of this payment. Okay, so that's fine. And that actually does match up, so it's fine, but it's just, I might as well write it down. This one here, the NI Safety, I'm just going to write in to say as well, the proof of payment there was bank as well, but then the invoice is in sterling, payment in euro. Okay, so that's fine. That's just showing there. Could be a case that you're writing in here to say, I have a discount, so I have an understanding with the store if the payment is under. So it's just, if there's anything there that needs an explanation, it's good to write down the name of the file, which matches the bank statement here, and say what's any differences you have. Once I've uploaded all of my proof of payment and my invoices and entered in my number of liters, I can then hit save and I can hit submit. And now, because I've already done my bank and tax, my application form is fully complete. And it'll say, are you sure you wish to submit your application? Once I hit yes on that, my application will be submitted into BIM. Okay, just to show that this is your reference number. So every application form that gets submitted into BIM has this is a unique number for your application. So if you have any issues or you need to contact us for anything, please keep quoting this number. Will help us, will make it easier for us to find your application form easier. You can contact the Grants Help Desk at any time. So that's grantshelpdesk@bim.ie if you have any questions, and please do use your reference number when contacting us. I hope that was of help to you. Thank you. Just save that form.